Hello everyone, my name is Makeup by Plumtay and welcome back to my channel. We are back for today's video. We are going to be swatching and playing around and exploring a brand new product which has raised a few eyebrows, mine included, from NYX Cosmetics. And if you don't know what the product I'm talking about is, they are the Smushies, which are a matte lip balm, which definitely confused me when I first heard about it, because I'm like, how can you have a matte lip balm? How does that work? Is that not just a lipstick? After using them for a bit, I'm not gonna lie, that's still kind of confusing to me, but we're going to go through them today. I have 7 of the shades. Let's go play with them together and see if they're actually worth it. But before we begin with playing around with these, I would love if you would consider subscribing. I do try to post at least every single week. And feel free to drop a like so I know that this is something that you're interested in, and I'll definitely do some more in the future. And apart from that, let's get straight into this video. So as I said before, these are the matte lip balms. I just realised if you hold them up to the light, you can actually see the amount of formula that are in it. I'm going to give you a little swatch of the shades that I have. As I said, I only have 7. I'm not entirely sure how many shades are out there. I just want to disclaim that these were all kindly gifted to me and I did not purchase them myself. But everything I say in this video is all my own opinion and my own experiences. But let's get into it. This first shade I actually have not used before, so this could be something we could explore together. But this is one of the lightest shades I own, and this is a nice softer brown shade. The shade name being Soft Smile. I'm going to open her up just to show you what the applicator's like, because it is quite nice actually. And it's essentially this rubbery tip. I don't know if you can see me bending it. I'm trying to show you how flexible it is, which goes along quite nicely when you're trying to apply it to your lip. That kind of looked more like a poo. Maybe I should not have chosen this colour, but I didn't really have a choice. These all have such amazing scents to them. This one I'd say is kind of like a toffee kind of scent. They're all very different, but they're all so nice. This is what the swatch came out. It's kind of just a typical chocolate. If you were to sleep in the bed with chocolate like I have done before and got it all up my arm, this is the exact same thing. But this is how the formula is. It does kind of come out like a matte lipstick, but I suppose the only difference to make it more of a lip balm is that it's quite nourishing. And I don't know how to explain it, but when you've got the formula on your lips, it does feel different, and it's not a placebo, I promise. So the next shade I'm showing you is this kind of nice pinky red tone, and this one is called Soft Sorbet. Again, with the soft tip. Please ignore how dirty it is, but this is what happens to the tip after some use, so it's not going to stay that clear. The thing I like about these as well is they have quite a nice pigment, which you wouldn't expect being a lip balm, because a lot of the times the lip balm shades are quite sheer, which I think makes them quite different from the other lip balms. And this one is definitely like a berry scent. I can't tell you which berry, but I'd say like a summer berry. Next up is a bit of a deeper kind of purpley toned red shade, and this one is called Sassy Stuff. I'm loving these shade names. You see how pigmented they come out? It quite surprised me, honestly, when I first used them. So this one is diving a bit more into that purple shade, kind of more of a maroony, I would say. This one is in the shade Squeeze and Sizzle. I think this one's my favourite scent. Oh, it's so good. This one smells like Christmas berries. I promise I'm not going to call all of them berry-fied. The best way that I can describe this formula in a really, really weird way is that it's kind of like a thick paste. I don't want to say Play-Doh-y. I don't know if this is coming across really well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not thin. It's a thick formula, but it feels thin. Like, it's not liquidy in the slightest. Now we're going straight into that purple tone, and we're going in with this one called Silly Slippin'. This next shade is called Swipe to Smooth. I almost just destroyed the masterpiece. I think this one's one of my favourites. I mean, I can't decide, but it's definitely a contender between that and the fourth one, and that one's the Squeeze and Sizzle shade. But now onto the last one. This is the deepest brownish tone that I have, and this is called Smudge Fudge. So this one smells like mint chocolate. I'm not usually a fan of the scent because of the food, but I can get behind this one. So these are all of these shades that I have swatched onto my arm. Do you see what I mean about the formula and the pigment? I have found when using the darker tones that they can come off a bit patchy. But I'm going to show you when I do the demonstration in a second. But even though they look extremely pigmented, it doesn't stay consistent in a lot of the deeper formulas. But this is the initial swatch. I have a very intense urge to do something right now. I'm gonna do it. Oh, damn it, I missed the end. Ta-da! Do you see what I mean? Now that they're a bit blended out, especially this last one there, the mint choc one, it comes out a bit patchy, but I'm quite impressed with the variety of shades that they have. It's quite nice as well because sometimes in certain lip shades they can come out quite similar, and then you're like, what's the point of having two different shades because they're both essentially the same thing. So you can see the differences even in the brown shades, that they're not basically exact duplicates of themselves. I definitely need to wipe this off before I get it everywhere. I also want to mention, I don't know if it's just me because I haven't seen anybody say about it online, but I have found that these do leave a little bit of a stain. I'm not sure if you're picking it up at all, but I have a little reddish stain here, which obviously sticks around a bit more when you don't wear it for all of 2 seconds. But while I've got this cloth, I'll get off my lip oil. I don't know if you heard what I said, but I can subtitle it. Alright, what shade should we go for? Should I pick 3? Like one of the deeper ones, one from the middle, one from the end? I feel like that's the best way to go about this. I think I'll grab Soft Sorbet, Squeeze and Sizzle, and I'll grab the deep one, which is Smudge Fudge. So these are the ones that I will show you on my lips. I'm going to go in with the lightest one because I feel like it'll be the easiest to cover with the deeper tones rather than going the other way. In case you were wondering as well about the size of them, what can I use to compare? I just had this on the side, but this is the Mina No Rule stick in the shade 667. Not really relevant right now. It's kind of almost the exact same size as that if you have that. I've always felt that this applicator was so nice to use, so easy. So this is what seems to be a nice first coat that it feels like on my lips, but you can tell that not all of the colour is there. Gotta go in with the second layer to try and smooth out the colour. I tend to like, oh god, that's a blob. I tend to squeeze as I'm moving. Like I don't just do one squeeze, I do it continuously. And there we go. This is the Soft Sorbet shade. I think it's really nice. Although it doesn't particularly suit my skin tone, I do tend to use this with a deeper lip liner. It tends to be like a brown shade. I always usually have to do at least 2 layers or apply a thick amount, but I don't really necessarily mind that because it does feel quite nourishing on the lips. Again, I don't really know how to explain it. It does not feel like a drying matte lipstick or a lip balm like a typical one. It just feels like cream. Right, now on to the next shade, this one being Squeeze and Sizzle, one of my favorite shades. This is how it looks with the first thin layer of the formula on my lips. You can see it's kind of like a hint of colour, and what I quite like about this shade is that it's not as patchy compared to some of the other ones. You can get away with this thin coat, but I do like the fact that these colours are quite buildable, which I'm going to show you right now. So this is for the second layer. Do you see the difference? They're both the same shade, but it's more intense. Before I go into the last shade, I do want to say a con that I experienced with the rubber applicator. Overall, positive from me. I do love it, but sometimes, like I say, with some of the patchier colours, it's very difficult to get the shades on like the corners, or like especially the cupid's bow, or like the inner corner part of your mouth there. Sometimes I feel like I have to kind of of twist myself up like a pretzel to try and smear it all across my lips evenly. But I don't tend to experience that many issues with it, so I don't mind. Do you see what I mean about a bit of a staining? It's not very obvious at all. It's like a very teeny tiny hint, but you can tell that something's left behind. And then lastly, going on to the shade that I think is the most patchy, and that is Smudge Fudge, which is the deep brown shade. So this is the first layer. Do you see what I mean about the patchiness? I don't know how well it comes across on camera, but you know the inner part of your lip, like right there, that's where the majority of the pigment has settled. And then like the corners of my lips and like the cupid's bow area, that's where it's more pinky from where my lips shine through, where the pigment hasn't quite reached just yet. So that's why I feel like this can be one of the most patchy ones, because it's such a deep shade and nothing at all like my natural lip colour. But I'm gonna let it settle, and then I go in with a second layer, and then that's when the magic works for this shade. And that is the second layer applied. As I mentioned, you do have to apply quite a bit of layers, especially for the darker shades. And from that, I don't know if you can see, it pulls up a little bit on the bottom lip, like right there, which can be a bit of a problem, especially if you're taking photos, because you know when you smile and then you can see the corners and like the inside of your lips have like no colour, and then it just looks a bit odd. I feel like it could be that situation. As long as you have quite a good lip liner, I don't see that being a problem. Although for the inner parts, yeah, no, you can't cover that up. It covers back enough where that shouldn't affect it. It shouldn't be a problem. You shouldn't see it. In terms of transference of the product onto my teeth, I don't think I've really experienced it, barring when I first started using it, like on the first or second occasion, possibly both. And that was because I was trying to figure out how much formula to apply, which turns out you do need a bit of a lot of formula. But then that's when it transferred all over my teeth. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if I had it on my teeth now? Okay, no, we're safe. So those are all the shades that I have and all of the swatches for you. My overall thoughts, I am still unsure, honestly, whether these are worth it or not. They're not one of my favourite NYX products. Not for any particular reason, just for my own personal tastes. I find them a bit too inconsistent for my liking, but I've seen quite a few other people love it. I mean, some people find this to be one of their favourite ever NYX products, but for me personally, it's not something I can really trust to throw in my bag and just whack on really quickly, if you know what I mean. I always feel like I have to have a couple step process in order to make this product work for majority of the shades. But when I'm at home, I don't mind it. I don't mind whacking on a lip liner, because it does feel so nice on the lips and really nourishing as well. After I wear these, my lips just feel so hydrated, and it does last for quite a long time, which I have found to be quite good. Like sometimes I go brush my teeth and I still feel like there's some there. But I hope that answered a few questions that some of you may have had about these products. If you have any more that I haven't answered in this video, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to jump on that and answer any questions that you may have. So overall, I wouldn't say they're worth it for me, but they may be for you. But that will be it from me today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in my next one.